You think you're behind, don't you? You look at your life, your age, your bank account, and you tell yourself, I should have been further by now. Stop! You are not behind, you are being built. What God is doing in you takes time, takes fire, takes storms. You don't rush greatness. You prepare for it. Just because they're ahead of you doesn't mean they're better than you. Just because you're slower doesn't mean you're stuck. God's timing is perfect and you are right on time. Let me speak directly to your heart. Today, you're not behind. You're being built. That feeling you've got in your chest, that pressure, that's not failure. That's not shame. That's not regret. That's purpose trying to push its way out of you. You've been looking around, comparing yourself to everybody else's timeline, everybody else's journey, and now you think you're late. Late to success, late to marriage, late to peace, late to purpose. But I need you to hear this loud and clear. You are exactly where you're supposed to be. God's not in a rush. God is not watching Instagram timelines. God doesn't care how many degrees they got before you. He's not impressed by how early someone bought a house or started a business. That's not the measure of success. The measure is, are you becoming who He created you to be? See, I used to think I was late too. I saw people passing me, building careers, getting married, making money, getting famous, and I was still in the dark, still broke, still searching, still stuck. But I wasn't stuck, I was being shaped. Listen to me, diamonds are made in pressure and darkness. They don't shine in the beginning, they're dug up, crushed, heated, and polished. Stop calling it a delay, it's a divine process. You're being built. You think your pain disqualified you, but it's what's preparing you. You think your trauma is a setback, but it's the very fire that's forging your strength. You think God forgot about you, but He's been working on you in secret, and when He brings you out, it's gonna make sense. Let me tell you something. The deeper the foundation, the taller the building. You feel low because you're being dug deep. You wanted to build a shack. God's trying to build a skyscraper. You wanted quick success. God's creating unshakable character. You wanted to look good. God wants you to be good. So stop crying about the time you think you lost. Stop mourning what should have been. It's not too late. You're not too old. You're not behind. You're in process. Let's talk Bible real quick. Noah didn't build the ark overnight. Moses didn't lead the people out until he was 80. Abraham waited 25 years for a promise. Joseph had a dream as a teenager, but didn't walk in it until years later. Even Jesus waited 30 years before preaching one word. And you think you're late at 25? At 32? At 40? Let that go. You don't know what God's protecting you from right now. You don't know what He's preparing you for behind the scenes. There are doors with your name on them. But if you walk through them too early, they'll crush you. That's why the relationship didn't work. That's why the job said no. That's why they walked away. That's why the deal fell through. It wasn't punishment, it was protection. You've been so focused on where you're not that you've forgotten who you are. You are chosen. You are being shaped. You are being trained. You are being built. Let me ask you something. When you bake a cake, what happens if you take it out too soon? It falls flat. Looks good on the outside, but raw inside, undercooked, unsafe. You don't want to be half-baked. You want to be ready. So stay in the oven, stay in the fire, and stay in the process. You're not behind Him, you're becoming. You know who you are? You're the one God's been molding in silence. You're the one they'll look at one day and say, where did you come from? And you'll say, I came from the process. You came from the late nights. You came from the lonely prayers. You came from the pain that nobody saw. You came from the slow grind. You came from the delays. You came from God's hand, not man's validation. That's why your glow-up is going to be different. Because it won't just be shiny, it'll be solid. Let them laugh now. Let them doubt you. Let them pass you. Let them win awards. Let them get likes. You keep building, because when God's hand is on you, you're never behind. You're just being aligned. This is your moment to stop complaining, to stop comparing, to stop quitting, and to start trusting God doesn't waste anything. Not your mistakes, not your waiting, not your pain. It's all part of the blueprint. So walk in it, own it. Say it out loud. I'm not behind and I'm being built. Because when you finally step into what God made you for, it's not just going to be a win, it's going to be a witness, say to Amin.